Hey everybody, how you doing? Tekking101 here, and welcome back to the show! And boy, is it going to be a show this week, okay? Luffy, Law, Kid, they're all there on the battlefield. It's gonna get intense. Oda's diving right into this, so let's just dive into it too. This will be One Piece chapter 975, titled Kinemon's Plan. And let me tell you something right now about this plan, alright? Look. There are some great tactical thinkers in our day. You know, like Sun Tzu, like the art of war back in China, like a million years ago or something like that, right? There's been a lot of great tactical things, like Alexander the Great. You know, he probably did some stuff. Genghis Khan, maybe a couple of interesting battle tactics, okay? But let me tell you something. This plan that Kinemon came up with blows all of those out of the water. Alright, he wasn't playing 4D chess or 5D chess. He was playing like 8,700 million D chess. So just prep yourself for that. We'll get to it. Alright, so we start off with the cover page. We have Goatee, of course, saving Chiffon. They manage to get away from the Marines. They take a breather behind a building like, alright, I think we lost him, Chiffon. I'll get you back to the boss post-haste. You know, probably not how Goatee would talk, but, you know, whatever. So they take a rest there to get away from the Marines, and Chiffon, surprisingly enough, is like, well, I don't know who you are, but thank you for saving me, and then kisses Goatee on the cheek, which indicates that either Chiffon has suffered some, you know, short-term brain damage or something like that. She has amnesia, or probably the more likely series of events is, it's not Chiffon at all! It was Lola! Go on! Honestly, you know what? We really should have seen that coming. I don't know if anybody saw that coming, but we really should have seen that coming. No, seriously, think about it. So the fire tank pirates dock at Dressrosa, this island that's already been ravaged by, you know, Doflamingo and Luffy's battle and everything like that, like the birdcage. The Marines are already there on high alert, so how does it make any sense that the second upon arriving at that island, Chiffon would be like, okay, dear, well, I'm gonna go get my hair done in the middle of this massive marine blockade. Okay, well, you guys have fun. You gather supplies. I'll meet you back at the ship around 5. See ya. You know, like, it doesn't make any logical sense why it's like, I'm just gonna go to a hair salon for no reason. You know, I'm just gonna separate myself from all of you guys, right? So, yeah, the person in the hair salon getting her hair done up that was arrested by the Marines that Goatee saw and went to go rescue, that was Lola this whole time. And from what it looks like here, Lola is now, of course, smitten with Goatee. You know what? Goatee, once again, he pulled his weight here, even though it wasn't actually Chiffon. He was a brave warrior, mafioso of the sea. Giorno and Bruno would be proud. So, yeah, I guess Lola might end up marrying Goatee at the end of this, you know, and then you have, you know, Chiffon and Lola both as members of the fire tank crew. That actually would probably work the best, because that means at some point the fire tank crew, along with the rest of the worst generation, the rest of the supernovas, might meet back up with the Straw Hats at some point, which means that, hey, Lola might meet up again with, like, Nami, and, you know, there also might be a connection there. Lola might meet Big Mom again, and Lola and Chiffon together and, like, fight their mother as, like, a member of the fire tank crew. You know, like as like a big epic final battle with all the crews involved. So that's probably the best way to handle it. So I guess there's a wedding incoming, I'm assuming. So we'll see where that goes. Might be a little bit awkward to have, you know, identical twins that are, you know, both married to members of the fire tank crew. We'll see where that goes. That might get a bit complicated. You know, the title of this is Beiji's Oh My Family. So that kind of sounds like an 80s sort of like family sitcom, you know, except it's with mafia pirates. Okay, well, anyway. All right, so getting into the actual chapter itself, we start this off by already breaking big grounds, because we get a scene with all of the Straw Hats together, minus Jinbei, in one location, which I have to reiterate is extraordinarily relevant, because the last time all the Straw Hats were together was like chapter 701, when they were all on the beach of Dressrosa planning their battle against Doflamingo, and they separated into different groups, and since then they have never been in the same location. And I'm assuming that was because Oda was waiting for them all to be together, and this was the moment we were waiting for here, them all being on the Sunny together. So aside from Jinbei, I guess if you want to say they're not necessarily all together because Jinbei's not there yet, when Jinbei arrives, we might very well get like the double page spread, all the Straw Hats plus Jinbei now, like, you know, like we're coming for you, Kaido, bring it on, you're facing the Straw Hat crew, 10 strong, you know, some of that nature. But we get to see Frankie and Usopp in their Wano attire. Frankie's decked out, he's got his cannons out ready to fire, he's got a samurai helmet on, he's looking samurai super. Then we got Usopp, he's also wearing samurai gear, he's got his Kabuto on him there, he's got a helmet. Frankie is talking about how those idiots thought that they could sink the Sunny. You can't sink the Sunny with those tiny little bombs, you gotta bring something a little bit more super if you hope to sink my ship. So I threw out some ideas, like the reason why the Sunny was able to avoid destruction was because it did like Chicken Voyage at the last minute and avoided it. But then you start to think, like, the Sunny is a pretty damn durable ship. The stuff it's made out of atom wood, alright? And that's a pretty durable material, like the most durable wood on the entire planet, apparently, according to Frankie, right? And so, when they blasted the cave, remember, I don't think they hit the Sunny dead on with the explosives. I think they hit the roof of the cave, and then a bunch of rocks fell down on the Sunny. It's gonna take more than a couple of boulders to take down the Sunny. They do mention that it ruined the sails, so that's the reason why they were so late. By the way, the Straw Hats are also completely unaware of where all the other ships are. They have no idea. So Kinemon gets there with his scabbards, and they have no idea what's going on. Where is everybody? And then Luffy and Law and Kid show up with their respective crews, you know, Law's submarine and everything like that, and then the Straw Hats have the Sunny, and the Kid Pirates have the Victoria Punk, but they still have no idea where everybody else is either. But the reason why they were late, as Usopp says, like, oh, we had to fix the sails. You know, the rocks fell down on the sails, everything else was okay, but we had to, like, repair those, and that took a little while there. I've also seen a lot of discussion going on that the reason why the Sunny was able to survive was because it has its own Klabautermon. You know, it has like a guardian soul, a guardian spirit, like its own personality. I like to honestly think that the spirit of the Mary lives on in the Sunny in some way, shape, or form through some mystical, magical mumbo-jumbo, you know? Also, it was revealed at the end of the episode of Mary that we do see the Klabautermon on board the Sunny as well, you know? So it's protecting the ship, so to speak, and making sure that it gets to where it needs to be. Either way, I'm fine with that, but it's already a very durable ship, so yeah, I mean, like, you could bring down the Sunny, but you really gotta try with that. You can't just, like, you know, shoot like one single missile at it and expect the thing to go up in flames. Plus, it handled Big Mom. Big Mom was like stomping around on the ship, lifting it up, crushing things, and overall, I mean, Frankie repaired it really with minimal effort there, so, yeah, I mean, it's a durable ship. We see Luffy there. Luffy, he does have a new outfit. I was thinking he had some sort of like leather jacket on last chapter. We couldn't really see it in its entirety. It's not a leather jacket. He's wearing like his ordinary thing, his shirt, but over it he's got this badass black cloak. I mean, it might not be black, it might be a different color because manga, but it looks really cool on him. It's got like a high collar, and he's just like, well, I have no idea what's going on here, everybody, but I can sink these battleships, right? I'm gonna sink these battleships, right? Kandro's off in the background. He's like, what? Huh? I don't understand. What? This is different from what I've heard. What's going on here? We see Brook, we see Robin there. Brook, unfortunately, has changed out of his samurai attire, as did Luffy. Maybe they were running around in it a little bit like, oh man, we're badass samurai, this is cool. But then they started to realize, man, this is actually kind of hard to move around in, so they took off the armor. Brook is back to pretty much his normal attire. He's got like his little cravat thing here, he's got his top hat. Robin looks like she's got just like a, you know, she really looks like she's just more of like a more casual kind of geisha attire, you know, she doesn't have the face makeup, she doesn't have her hair done up like, oh, like a geisha, but she's wearing like a kimono and like fancy Japanese attire there. And we got Carrot in the background! Carrot's on board the Thousand Sunny during this final battle at Onigashima. Carrot is the Straw Hat confirmed. I don't care. Yeah, I know Sicilian and Giovanni and Consulate and the other minks are on the ship as well, but hey, you know what? Carrot was there first, so Carrot is a crewmate. My heart was all aflutter when I saw Carrot just jump in the background, like, oh yeah, the Straw Hats, cool, we get to see their, oh my god, Carrot's there too! Oh my god, it's so cool! So Carrot's there, so we cut over down, we see Sicilian, we see Chopper, and Sanji. Chopper is the only one that seems to still be wearing the samurai attire in its entirety from the last time we saw him, okay? You know, like, so it's still there. I still think Luffy might put the hat on at some point just to have it, just to look cool, right? But Chopper still looks like a samurai. Sanji's attire, pretty much the exact same. He's back to the suit and tie and everything, except now he's got gloves, which... such a simple change, you know, it's just Oda drew him with gloves, but does he not look like 10 times more badass now? I don't know how that works. Can you explain to me how that works? It's like, they're just, okay, so he went on a trip to the glove factory at Logtown for a little bit, came back and he had gloves. Maybe he bought them, was like, oh yeah, I bought these, like, I gotta get ready for the final battle, I gotta get dressed up and ready to go. I'm gonna put my suit on, my tie, I gotta look this is my battle suit, get it? Battle suit, right. But he's like digging around in the sunny and he's like, oh right, yeah, I bought these gloves from Logtown like 2 years ago, I forgot about them, alright, I'll put those on, I guess, and he's just there. Let me try. Let me put some gloves on and see if I'm just like instantly more cool. All right, yeah. He's also smoking a cigarette, which adds to the, you know, that like to that there. Obviously, Sicilian's in the background there. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know everyone's sitting there watching me right now. It's just like, whoa, whoa, where did this new character come from? Tekking, you look so more badass. That's incredible. Now, the question is, can I handle my little clicker with these gloves on? These are like biker protective gloves here. All right, so, yeah, once again, the Straw Hats have no idea where everybody else is. They're talking about how he's just like, hey, weren't there supposed to be like Inurashi's squad, the Mountain Bandits, you know, you know, Ashura Doji led? They were supposed to be here. We were working on the ships with them at Itachi Port. Where are they at? Weren't there supposed to be a bunch more samurai? They were supposed to have like 4,200 people, and they're looking around. It's like, okay, we got Kid, we got Law, we got, you know, the Heart Pirates, the Kid Pirates, we got the Scabbards and crap. It's like, where? I thought there was going to be more of a party, basically, right? And so they're a little curious. We do finally, and then finally we get to see Zoro and Nami in their Wano attire. So Zoro really doesn't look like he changed his outfit at all, aside from having Enma on his belt now. Aside from that, he looks pretty much the same, his normal outfit. But Nami's looking awesome. She seems to still be wearing the Kunoichi outfit that Kinemon made for her, but she's wearing like chest armor over it, which is important to protect, you know, you know, you got to protect those things, but also it's just like you're putting Nami in armor. Finally, good, right? Because it's like she's very glass cannony. She's got really high octane attacks with her climb attack. Zeus is in the background wearing a samurai hat. That's awesome. A samurai helm. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just like, okay, good. Nami, she can heavy hit, but she really can't take a lot of damage, so let's put her in armor. Okay, good. I'll go with it, right? So, all right, we got that. We got the Straw Hats together. There's not like the big double-page spread I was expecting. I'm thinking, though, Oda is waiting to show that when Jinbei shows up. Okay, so they're like, you know, oh, and the swords, too. Yeah, all that weapons from Ringo. Where are they at, you know? And so Kinemon sees them coming, and, you know, he thanks them. He bows to them. He's like, oh, my friends, forgive me. I'm so sorry. I would thank you for coming and all, but, you know, there was a traitor in our midst, and we failed, and the plans fell apart, and I don't know what we're going to do now. So it's like a little bit of a fluttering hope. It's like, at this one particular moment, they might be able to succeed. You know, with Law and Luffy and Kid working together, they could take out these initial battleships right here. But these battleships are just filled with some random, you know, gifters and pleasures. You know, like Jack and King and Queen are not on these ships. You know, Kaido is not here. This is just like a vanguard unit, right? So even if you could defeat these immediate battleships, there's still a whole legion of samurai and high hitters on Kaido's crew, the Tobi Roppo. There's still all on Onigashima plus Kaido himself. So it's like, I don't know what we're going to do here. We cut over to the ship, to Kaido's ships, and we see a few more gifters. We see one that I think a lot of people mistaken for Morgan's, you know, because he looks like an eagle or like a hawk or a falcon gifter, so he's got like a bird head sticking out of his head, like he's literally covered in like feathers, and he's got like a bird head sticking out of his skull. He's a gifter. And we also see a butterfly female gifter. Okay. We all know that I have a thing for bunny girls, hashtag not a furry. But I'll tell you something right now, after noticing this butterfly girl smile user. Oda has a thing for butterfly girls. No, seriously, think about this. Reiju, who was introduced in the previous arc in Totland, was a butterfly girl, okay? Her raid suit gave her butterfly wings, and she's poison pink, and she's awesome. And then, in this arc, just a couple dozen chapters ago, we got introduced to Cho from Butterfly, right? And she is a member of the Yakuza, the leader of the Ringo Yakuza, and so she has hair that's like an antennae, so she's also kind of like based off of a butterfly. And then we have this butterfly smile girl. So I don't know what it is with Oda and butterfly girls, but he's like, more butterfly girls in my manga. I'm like, okay, butterfly girls, fine, I'm cool with that, let's go, right? Well, anyway, the members of Kaido's crew are like, we know what happened to him. You see, Lord Orochi found out about your plans last night, so we wiped out all the ships at the Itachi port, and we destroyed all the great bridges in the land so nobody could get into Udon. You know, we're the ones that destroyed everything because of the traitor in your midst. There's no way you could defeat us now, right? There's no way you're landing on Onigashima. And so Kinemon is like, ugh. But Kinemon knows. He knows his master plan is going to take effect. He has to appear like he's shocked. He has to appear like all hope is lost, because when the time comes, he'll know that he did what was right. All right. So they also, by the way, announced big news to everybody involved. Big news, even though Big News is not there. Big news. He announces like, oh, by the way, yeah, Kaido and Big Mom formed an alliance! Ha ha! And so Law and Kid and everybody are like, whoa, that's some big... Even Kid, who's like a rough and tumble kind of guy, that's like, let's go in there and smash some heads, man! Yeah! Oh shit, Kaido and Big Mom are forming an alliance. That ain't good. Okay, well, we're still gonna go in there and knock some heads, but be more cautious to knock some heads, you know? So even Kid is a little shocked by that. By the way, we see Heat and Wire in the background, the only other named members of Kid's crew other than Killer. We do not see Killer, so I don't know, what's up with him. If he's back in his armor or whatever, his like little face mask to protect his face from, because he's a pleasure now, essentially. He's uncontrollably laughing, so I'm wondering if they put him back in the mask or something. We see Jean Bart, we see Sachi, Penguin, Beppo in the background of the Heart crew there with Law. So they're very surprised by this. And so they basically all get together, though, Luffy, Kid, and Law, and they're like, all right, well, it's kind of a funny scene, honestly, because these random nobodies, like these gifters and these like pleasures and the waiters on Kaido's crew are like, yeah, there's no way you're getting to Onigashima. There's no way you're beating Kaido and Big Mom. They formed an alliance. And so, Kid, Law, and Luffy are just like, okay, well, we could still beat the crap out of you guys. It's just like, well, yeah, you could, but you can't get to Onigashima. Yeah, but we could still beat the crap out of you guys. I'm like, well, and then they start beating the crap out of those guys. I love it. It's like, all right, well, we'll take care of you guys first. We'll worry about that later. You're the dumbasses that actually came out here. You don't have Kaido and Big Mom with you, do you? I'm like, well, no. I'm like, all right, then. So we're already enemies, it's like, so we're going down. So they all jump on the ship together, and then they launch out into their signature moves. Okay, so we got Luffy going Gear 4th bound, man. We got Law, of course, busting out his room. But more importantly than anything, we got a technique from Kid, because I did a poll last night on the channel on the community tab. I'm like, okay, out of these three heavy hitters of the worst generation of the supernovas, Kid, Luffy, and Law, who are you most excited to see from this chapter or from this battle here? And Kid won, because Luffy, yeah, we're all interested in what happened with Luffy, his Ryuo training. Maybe he's got another form. Maybe he's got Gear 4th Dragon Man or Lion Man or something really cool to work with, right? But at the end of the day, we know about Luffy's forms, and we know about Law. Law always does. We saw a lot of Law stuff during Dressrosa with his Gamma knife and his radio knife, and we know how Law fights. Kid is a mystery in a lot of this sense, so we want to see some more Kid techniques. I was honestly thinking we were just going to get his Devil Fruit in this chapter. It's probably nothing that complicated. It's probably just the magnetize, or magnet fruit, or, something like that. It's nothing that complicated, but we don't get it yet. But we do get a technique called Punk Rotten, which just means magnetic demon. And so he goes into Punk Rotten, which is just gathering all the scrap metal from around the area on the ship, forming it together into two mighty muscular arms. And then, yeah, they they just destroy, like, completely obliterate one of the ships. Like, it gets sliced, probably by Law, you know, with his room, and then big explosions from when Luffy and Kid just beat the crap out of everything. Like, the whole damn ship just explodes. And so, remember, there's two other ships. There's 3 of these big galleons that Kaido's, you know, sent out to stop the rebellion here. Kid, Luffy, and Law, after they're in the middle of the wreckage and they're all complaining. They're just like, hey, I thought I told you to stand back. It's the exact same thing that happened back at Sabaody when they were fighting against that military. The Marines were kind of trying to, like, limit them from escaping the auction house, and they're like, I'll take them down, guys. No, I'll take them down, Straw Hat. You guys are so loud. I'll take them down. You know, and so they all argue afterwards, like, I told you I was gonna do it. I was gonna do it, you Straw Hat asshole. So anyway, now, the Kaido crew is freaking out a bit because they just obliterated an entire galleon and an entire crew in, like, you know, 1 attack each. So now we have Kyoshiro's ship arriving. Now remember, Kyoshiro was actually supposed to stay in the Flower Capital to keep everything, you know, in control while Orochi went to Onigashima. Well, here we have a ship arriving with Boss Kyoshiro and his mafia, his Yakuza. And so the Kaido crew is immediately, the Beast Pirates are just like, oh yeah, we got Boss Kyoshiro here. You're in for it now, Straw Hat. We got reinforcements from the capital. Boss Kyoshiro's gonna wipe you out. And then he's like, the Kyoshiro's just like, all right, so you want to leave it to me to take out the enemies? And they're like, yeah, Boss Kyoshiro, you take out the enemy ships right now. All right, you said so. Shing, and Kyoshiro just takes out his sword and just slices one of the other galleons. Not in half, but like a big chunk of it gets cut out. And they're like, what? Boss Kyoshiro, why would you do that? And so we get the reveal here. We get the big reveal. There's a few of the members of the Scabbards that already are aware of Kyoshiro. Like Kinemon and the members that jumped into the future, they probably wouldn't know too much about him because his rise to power in the capital took place over the 20 years. But Ashura Doji knows about him, and he's like, oh, I know about that man right there. I don't know what his motives lie, but, you know, he's the head of the Yakuza in the Flower Capital. He is really strong with a sword. I have no idea who he is, but be on your guard here. And so, ironically enough, though, Kyoshiro shouts over, and he's just like, you know, noble... Well, my swords are about to fall here. He's like, you know, samurai of the Scabbards in the Flower Capital. They call me Napping Kyoshiro. Keen! I wish for myself and my Yakuza to fight alongside you this day. And so everyone is immediately surprised by that, you know, and everyone immediately starts, like, shocked, like the Beast Pirates are just like, yeah, Boss Kyoshiro, you're, what? You know, because they've been this loyal Yakuza boss under Orochi for, like, you know, 15 years or something like that. And so Kiku and Kawamatsu, they're just as surprised, and Kyoshiro keeps going on. He's like, I own an immense debt to the Kozuki family, and Odin, I am here to fight alongside you this day, Keen. And so he begins to bring up the Mountain God incident. He mentions how, yes, like 40-something years ago, the Mountain God incident, that was when I met Odin and I got to see the man he truly was, Keen. I saw it alongside you, Keen. And remember, Keen is like, that's his nickname, all right? He's like a samurai vassal of Odin. You don't address him as Keen unless that's like you have a good relationship with him, okay? So he's addressing me as Keen, and he's talking about the Flower Capital, the Mountain God incident 40-something years ago. Who else would have even... Wait, that doesn't make... Like, the only other person that would have been present was... You're Denjiro! And so he's like, Denjiro, is that really you? And so, he takes off the, Okay, so... Do you have a ponytail? Anybody out here watching my videos right now that has a ponytail? Your ponytail, it gets cold every now and then, right? Those cold winter nights, your ponytail gets cold. You know what you need to get? You need to get yourself a ponytail cozy. So that's what Kyoshiro did. That's what Denjiro got. Got himself a ponytail cozy, takes his ponytail, puts the cozy in it, and then you can also flip it over your head to make a faux pompadour. And so he deattaches the ponytail cozy, and he's like, yes, it was me. I thought he was also going to take out some shades and put some shades on too. It's like, yes, it was me. It's like, you're not Denjiro. Denjiro wears sunglasses. Oh. Holy crap, it's him! You know, it's definitely him. But no, he takes it as like, oh, you have a ponytail. Denjiro had a ponytail. Kawamatsu, Denjiro had a ponytail. Yes, I know, Kinemon, he did have a ponytail. It has to be him. His face looks completely different, but the ponytail. I know, right? Ashura, ponytail. I know, Kinemon, ponytail.
I mean, like, we all get it. He's talking about, he mentions the Mountain God incident, and the only other person that was there with Keen to witness it was Denjiro, so there's believability there, but I just love the idea. It's like, hold on a second, I'm gonna just ponytail. Whoa! And plus his hair is even a different color now as well, right? But anyway, so, Kiyoshiro steps out and he's just like, I didn't think you guys would recognize me with the ponytail cozy on. But yes, things have happened. My face changed a little bit. Long story. But the fact of the matter is, I'm here today to help you. I'm sorry I did not approach you earlier. I literally could not have approached you, before this day, before this moment of this day, this battle going on. If I would have approached you any earlier than this, it might have queued up Orochi. Like, I had a good thing going with Orochi. He trusted me. He believed in me. He left the entire flower capital up to me, while he went to Onigashima. So if I revealed myself, I even indicated that I was working with the rebellion beforehand. Even if I was like going off and making weird trips out of nowhere, I was missing, he might start to second guess me. He's a very paranoid guy. So I'm sorry I couldn't have been there earlier, but I'm here today. Kanjuro, by the way, just as surprised, because Kanjuro did not know Denjiro was Kiyoshiro this whole time as well, so he's just as surprised there. And in addition to Kiyoshiro's ship with the Yakuza on it, out of the fog behind them in the stormy skies and seas emerge an entire fleet of ships, all flying different insignias of various samurai clans throughout Wano, and these are the men that were imprisoned in Rasetsu Town. So these are all the samurai that Oda kind of focused on a few scenes for. The guy with the scar, the cool, sleek-looking dude, the young-looking guy. Not very specific, but we're probably going to get names for all these guys coming up, the ones that Oda focused on the most. Oda's a big fan of old school samurai movies, so he's taking a bunch of inspiration from characters from old samurai movies and incorporating them here into these samurai clans. Okay, so we're definitely going to see, probably a whole chapter where he's like, this is the leader of, Tokugawa was the Edo period. I'll just use it for an example. This is the leader of the Tokugawa clan, this guy. But maybe, Oda here might change the names a little bit, just a little bit around, but it's still like indicating like that's what it's parodying. We might get something like that, right? So Kaido's crew is even more surprised, like, what? How? We sunk all the ships! What is this crap? It's almost like the Kaido, the Beast Pirates are looking up to the sky like, Oda, come on! We did everything right! What is this plot armor bullcrap? We sunk all these damn ships! So, this is the point where we find out Kinemon's 82 centillion D-chess master plan. Alright? So, I'm going to take my gloves off for this because I need to be careful with this. All right, so here's the deal. We've mentioned this before, but Kinemon, the first time around when he did this, wasn't the smartest. I mean, he really wasn't. His original plan was to take this little flyer, minus the two little lines. The Yasue added those later. Whoa! All my swords are falling down today. All right, I think that's structurally unstable, but we'll worry about that later. All right, so originally he passed this flyer out to like everybody at Wano. He was like giving the Straw Hats a big stack of these flyers and just like pass them out to everybody that has a crescent moon tattoo on their ankle. And so the Straw Hats did that, but the problem with that is just like, okay, I mean, come on now. I mean, these are little tiny flyers, little leaflets. If just one of these gets caught in the wind, it's gonna fly, and Orochi's men are freaking everywhere, and Kaido's men are everywhere, so one member of, like, the Orochi's Oniwaban, or just a random member of his court find these things flying all over the freaking capital, they're gonna be like, oh, there's a rebellion, And, the Straw Hats didn't understand what this meant, but, Kinemon even said, like, oh, anybody from Wano will know what this meant. So that's kind of a stupid thing that Kinemon did. Later on, with Yasue, after his death, he passed around a modified version of this in the jail cells to the other samurai. And the modified version is the version we see right here, with two lines where the snake is. The snake right here at the bottom with the two cranes and the crescent moon, okay? Now, originally, Kinemon figured that meant that it's changing the snake to a lizard, so Tokage Port. Tokage means lizard. So it's not the meeting at Habu Port in the Hakumai region, it's the meeting at Tokage Port at the Udon region. So that was the original plan. There was still a problem there, though, because it's the same issue. Like, anybody that was a local of Wano would look at this piece of paper and say, oh, it's not a snake, it's a lizard now. So instead of Habu, they're meeting at Tokage, which is what Orochi did. He found out, and then he sent all of the, his men out to destroy the bridges to get into the Udon region and all that stuff, and destroy the ships and all that stuff as well. Well, it turns out that Kinemon and Yasue were more brilliant than we could possibly imagine, as Denjiro explains. So, the snake here at the bottom represents Habu Port in the Hakumai region. These two lines do not change it over to a lizard. Rather, the two lines represent the removal of the center of the snake. So, we're actually going to get a little bit into a Japanese lesson here, but it's pretty simple, so I hope you understand. Okay, so the Japanese term for Habu Port is, well, here's the kanji. There's 3 kanji that make it up. Ha, bu, and then minato is the kanji for port. But if it's written in the katakana, it goes ha, bu, mi, na, to. Okay, written out this way, okay, in katakana. Now, by putting these 2 lines in the snake, that means remove everything in the middle. So you remove the bu, mi, na. So you just have ha at the beginning and then the to at the end. So you get ha-to. Ha-to is a completely new Japanese word, which means wharf. Or seawall in some cases. And so that indicated that the meeting would still be in the Hakumai region, which is where Yasue ruled over, so that makes sense, except instead of Habu Port, which is where the procession for the Fire Festival left, where Orochi left from Habu Port out to Onigashima, it's at a different location, a wharf that's on the side of the maple forest where Yasue lived. Now, once again, the people that live in Wano would be able to know of these locations and everything, especially people that are loyal to the Kozuki clan, they would know about this, right? But, yeah, so what Kinemon did and what Denjiro is applauding him for, he's like, Kinemon, you are such an intelligent man! You purposely only told your allies, the scabbards, the false information of Tokage Port. I mean, come on, it's so obvious! But even so, all of your scabbards believed it. You purposely fed the scabbards false information because you knew there was a traitor in your midst. Damn it! Kinemon, I knew you were a smart dude, but that just brings you to a whole new level. Denjiro is applauding him, and the entire time Kinemon is just standing there with his arms crossed like, yeah. He's not having like a face fault of like a he's just like yeah. If I was Kinemon, I wouldn't be saying shit. Just roll with it. Just roll with it, buddy. Just be like, yeah, that was my plan the whole time. Sorry for lying to you guys. Kawamatsu, Kiku, Ashura. I know we're all allies here, but after all, I knew there was a traitor in our midst. It was pretty obvious. I mean, after all, our plans kept getting leaked, so I knew I had to come up with a master plan in order to make sure that the rebellion still occurred, and I was up all night, trying to figure out how this would go. Me and Yasue connected in a spiritual level. I actually went to the afterlife and talked to his spirit to confirm some things, but yeah. Everything worked out. Kanjuro has been outed as the traitor. Momo is still being held captive, so that's kind of an issue. We should probably deal with that, but aside from that, we're doing pretty damn cool here. All because of me, Kinemon, Foxfire, commander of the Scabbards. Yeah, I just roll with it, Keen. Just roll with it, buddy. Even after the battle is over, I wouldn't reveal that. Honestly, I would take that to my grave, right? Yeah? Okay. So everybody just believes Denjiro, right? So he goes over. So basically, by the way, just a small difference here, because I was kind of curious, like, what the difference is between the port and the wharf. Like, what's the difference? So from what I understand, a port is like a large, like, it's usually attached to a town. Like Habu Port. You got the port where ships can come in and out and dock and moor and unload and, carry stuff on board and then ship out. But there's also that large town that's part of that, right? A wharf, from what I understand, is just a man-made structure where you can dock a ship. So you could be sailing a ship and then, like, on the beach, there's a big concrete slab with, like, those little poles where you can dock your ship at. I don't know sailing terminology, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not necessarily manned. There's not necessarily like, you know, a town around it. It's just, that's a man-made structure where ships can be docked. Also, considering this was a favorite place of Yasue, this might have been like a private wharf that Yasue owned, where it's like if he wanted his own private ship, he could take it from that way. He didn't have to travel all the way to Habu, because he was a daimyo, you know, he had certain privileges. So he's like, I have this little private wharf where ships can be docked in case they have to be, or if I'm like, I want some private, you know, a private ship to come and pick me up, or I want some private deliveries right to my door, I could just have that right here. Like a ship can come and just deliver stuff to my mansion if I wanted that, you know, so that's the place. And everybody knew about that location, that knew Yasue, because he loved the maple forest so much, and this was a location there. So it was because of Yasue that really did it, but it was because of Kinemon that it actually happened. Let's be straight up here. All right, so Denjiro begins to state, he's just like, the 4,200 troops that you gathered, you know, plus all of my men, the hundreds of troops here, we now have like over 5,000 men ready to fight for you. And then all these ships arrive, and plus Luffy and Law and Kid are there, and all of the scabbards are just like, yeah, we did it. I mean, Shinobu's been taken out and mobilized by snakes by Kanjuro, so that's a problem. We still need to deal with that. That's still an issue. It's not like everything flipped on the head here. There's still some problems here. But everybody was happy about it. Kanjuro is furious. He's just like, oh, Kinemon! Oh, I can't believe I fell for such a trick. And then the last scene of the chapter is just Kinemon, you know, by himself, just nothing else, like just to his thoughts, and like, so it meant Hato and not Tokage. But once again, he doesn't let his expression falter. He, you know, it's raining, so you can't really tell if he's sweating or anything. It's just raining, so he's just like, Hato, huh? Okay. And that moment right there is the moment that Kinemon realized he was gonna take this secret to his grave. And, like, don't even bring it up, buddy. Like, even after the battle is over, like, because, you know, people are gonna die in this battle. Like, you have men, you have 5,000 men, which was originally what Kinemon wanted. He wanted a force of at least 5,000 to fight against Kaido's crew. Keep in mind, though, this was before we knew Big Mom was involved, so that's still a problem here. 5,000 doesn't guarantee anything, but I'm just saying. He has the fighting force that he originally wanted, and, yeah, and, you know, maybe even more if some other groups show up, like the Grand Fleet or the Marines or something, but we're not quite to there yet. This entire battle is gonna be a massive cluster screw. I've said this before, but anyway, people are gonna die in this battle, so, like, even if you win and Kaido and Big Mom are defeated and Wano is, you know, freed and Orochi's taken care of and everything, you know, during the celebratorial feast, you don't want to get like, yeah, and I can't believe this whole thing happened because I didn't know how to read a damn letter. You know, just, everyone would immediately, like in the middle of the party, everyone would just be like drop their sake and their food and just, don't say anything, Kinemon. Don't say anything. All right. But then we get Luffy there. Luffy's off to the side, and he's just like, oh, I have no idea what's going on here, but all the ships are here, so everything works out okay. Because they're still kind of unaware of what happened with Kanjuro and everything. They're still not really brought up to speed on that yet. So they're just like, oh, okay, there are the ships. Yeah, okay, we're here as planned. I don't really get all this crap with Habu and Hato and all that crap and Tokage, but hey, everyone's here, so let's attack. Also, by the way, the ships that were destroyed at Itachi, those were the extra ships. Remember, when Frankie was building all those ships, he's like, we're gonna have enough ships for 10,000 men! And everybody there was just like, we don't even have half that many. We only have 4,200. He's like, I don't care, I'm the head shipwright. Make enough ships for 10,000. So the ships that were destroyed by Orochi's crew were all the ships that they didn't need. Okay, so here are all the ships properly there that can carry the necessary number of people, like 5,000 men here. And Denjiro's like, onward, Onigashima men! So, break next week, unfortunately, sorry. But hey, there's a really hype moment. Really, really great, solid chapter. Next chapter is probably just going to be the destruction of all the other fleets, like the remaining ships that are there that haven't been cut up by Denjiro or destroyed by Luffy, Kid, and Law. You know, so they're going to be eliminated there, and then maybe they can even take some hostages, you know, just be like, you know, tell us how to get into Onigashima, you know, something like that. Kanjuro, I think, is still going to get away with Momo. He's still going to figure out some way to escape. Something I didn't bring up last time, but it's really important, is like, Kanjuro is now working on Kaido and Big Mom and Orochi's side. I mean, he's always been on their side, but now he's properly on their side. So now you have to add the ability of his drawing fruit to their side. Like, he can make literally like a fake Momo to distract them. He could make a fake Odin think about how messed up that would be, or a fake Toki to distract them and be like, Odin appears. It's just like, I am Odin, I survived the oil for 20 years, you know, or I time traveled as well. You come up with some crazy excuse, and that could really, like, imagine if Kinemon and the Scabbards met Odin. Holy crap, that would, like, even if they knew it was a fake, that would mess with them psychologically. Kanjuro could totally do that if Orochi asks him to, right? So, you have to keep that in mind. Orochi's going to be on their side. I mean, Kanjuro's going to be on Orochi's side now and working for them. But this was a great chapter. It's very Oda-esque. I love it, because it's just like, oh yeah, Kinemon's master plan, and he didn't even intend it. It was a pure accident. But they made it in a way that makes sense. And Yasuie's not an idiot, so Yasuie would not just be like, yeah, draw 2 lines to change the port to 1 over. There's no way that Orochi will be able to figure out that message. No, Yasuie, obviously a little bit more intelligent. He would have to break it down at least a little bit more. And I think all the people looking at this, except for Kinemon, would be like, all right, there has to be more to this than just adding legs to a snake. You know, and then most people would be able to figure out, like, oh, wait, it means removing the... Okay, that's something tricky. That's not something that Orochi would be able to figure out. And especially if Kinemon didn't figure out, he just told all the Scabbards, the information got back to Orochi, and then, you know, he thought he wins. And by the way, that's something else to keep in mind. Orochi thinks he won. Unless one of these members of the Beast Pirates radio back to Onigashima like, you know, Kaido, you know, everyone dead, help, no, so many samurai, oh my god, is that a bunny, oh my, and then, you know, it's like, oh, what? I'm getting drunk, I don't care, click. You know, if the information does not get back to Onigashima, they're gonna crash this party and everyone is gonna be super shocked by this. Like, what? I thought I won! I thought I destroyed all the bridge images! That's not fair! You know, Kanjuro, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know, sir. Oh! You know, I thought I could trust you! So, yeah, this could go south for Orochi and Kaido. Like, I think at least now the samurai are gonna get, like, the surprise attack on Onigashima, and then after that, it's gonna, Kaido and Big Mom are gonna rally together, and it's just gonna be a cluster screw of a battle. Oh boy. So, yeah, we'll see where this goes next week, but man, love this chapter, really funny stuff, and everything seems to have worked out almost perfectly. Like I said, it's not a perfect flip. Kanjuro still captured Momo, Shinobu's tied up, and he's still probably gonna get away. But aside from that, at least they have the fighting forces they're going to need, and the battle that is going to be at hand here. So I can't wait for that. I love to see all the Straw Hats back again with their new outfits, you know, and Jinbei will be showing up probably at some point soon. We'll get that double page, but man, great chapter. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to close us out here with the wise, noble words of a yellow sponge. This battle, you know what it is? It's on! Yeah, battle, Onigashima, it's on, man. If I could just run this under some hot water,